Welcome to the Beyond Training webcast number 5, and today I'm here with Nunzio Lombardo. Thanks that I can be here in the studio today, that we found the time. We're here at Nunzio's dance studio in Munich. I think dance is a perfect example as something that you could basically do for all your life, because there are so many styles and variations at all kind of speeds and skill levels. And I think you have a pretty unique situation here because you are basically teaching both beginners, like total adult beginners, but also professional dancers. And so I'm very much interested in your experience as a teacher of dance, and basically, what's your experience in teaching adults, beginners, how to move and dance?
Well, I started teaching when I was much younger with the best jazz teacher in the north in Italy. And I became his assistant. Then he gave me some of his classes. And after a while I was teaching and performing at the same time. I decided not to teach regularly anymore because my aim was to be on stage as much as possible. At the same time I gained more experience, and years later I brought back my teaching passion, especially when I came back to Munich, And I love teaching all levels because dance to me it's an important tool in life, because everything is rhythm. You dance everywhere. You dance when you work, you dance when you breathe. It's all about rhythm. It's about understanding how to define the rhythm of life and dance with it. So to me, dancing gives you not just physical tools, but gives you psychological tools, emotional tools, and then it's up to you to decide how to use them and where to use them.
Do you see a difference though in terms of how, for example, kids and adults approach
Yes.
dance? You know, because it's a pretty complex movement skill that you're learning. So what are the differences when someone comes in at mid-30s, 40s, whatever?
The difference between a kid and an adult is that with experience of the growth, we start analyzing things, and which means that we're going to put our boundaries closer and closer. A kid doesn't have any boundaries, so because they don't have as much experience as we have, which is a good thing in a way and a bad thing in the other one. Because we grow up in telling ourselves that we cannot do certain things. While we are a kid, we think that we can do everything. So when we grow up, I think we can use the side of our brain in a wise way and say, I have the experience, I know how I can do it, and I know I can do it. What I do I love teaching adults because I like to dismantle these boundaries.
How do you do that? How do you give people the space to dismantle these boundaries?
I listen to them, I try to listen, and I want to learn how to listen to the subconscious, and each person has got a different language. And to me it's extremely important to listen to them from the same moment they walk in the studio. Because in the moment they walk in the studio, you see what's going on in their minds.
Is that sometimes challenging in a group setting that you work in?
Very, but it's beautiful. Because every person, I'm a teacher, but at the same time I'm a first student. Because every student teaches me a different language. And that's a huge challenge. Every single day, every single class. Because everybody changes. Every single day is different. This is why in my class, I start the class in listen to your body in a way first on the day.
So assuming that basically no 2 days are the same when you start a class, right?
No, that's how a person starts blossoming. You know, it's like someone goes to work every single day. They drive through the same way. They see the same trees. They see the same flowers. They see the same roads. They see the same people, and then this becomes routine. And with the routine and expectations, we get close into a box, and then we forget to notice that the sparkle and what real life is.
Okay, so this basically refers also back to the boundaries that we were
That's right.
talking to.
Yeah.
By kind of assuming that everything's the same, you kind of set the
That's right.
boundary for that.
So I like to give a basic language. This is why I don't have a style. It's quite plain, but I like to give a psychological security in order to break through the limits that our mind gives us. Because the body itself can do 4 times more than what we think, and the mind many times closes ourselves into a box, either related to what our parents used to tell us, related to what the society tells us, related to our boss, or whatever. But it's about making the personality blossom in many ways. That is very, very personal, because everybody's got a different way to fly.
That's quite a gift that you give to people.
They give it to me actually, because they just tell me what to do, and I try to do it for them.
So let's, on a very practical level, what would you recommend people that, let's say, come to class for the first time with no prior experience in dance, maybe not even much experience with movement and athletics either? So what kind of attitude should they bring to their...
Every single time I have a new student in class, I introduce myself, I ask about themselves, and I listen to the way they talk to me, especially the way they look at me, and I tell them to make as many mistakes as possible and never give up. At the same time, you say to someone, you are allowed to make mistakes. That breaks through the boundaries that we are set into our lives. Because in our lives, we have to make everything right, because the people expect that we do everything properly. When we have this pressure, we don't think anymore of the direction, but we think more of, oh my God, I have to do it right.
Yeah, I have to make, Do you see, because, you know, when you look through the classes here, no matter whether it's where you have jazz, obviously that's your thing, and you have classical ballet and modern and hip hop, you don't see too many men in the classes. Do you think there's a cultural reason for that? And, you know, as a second part of the question, is there a difference in how men and women learn or approach classes, especially as beginners?
I had this question asked several times, and
I
think
has your answer changed over time?
I think the male race is afraid of moving this way because it thinks that it is something extremely feminine, and it's not. Dance in men is something that takes us very well back in history, when, for example, tribes of men used to dance before a hunt, before a war, and we also see a dance in rugby. You see a tribe of New Zealanders doing a very aggressive dance towards the opponents, and this is a psychological, mental and physical preparation towards a specific aim. So dance is for everybody. It's absolutely for everybody. It's rhythm. You dance even when you fight. You dance when you love. You dance when you walk. You dance when you talk business. You dance. This is about rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Because the rhythm changes every single time.
So it's more like, so you would say the difference is more like between two people and not so much between men and women. You know, just like two people would, express themselves differently in dance.
That's right.
Men and women express themselves maybe differently. And do you approach or encourage men that start to dance in a different way?
Most certainly, yes. I do encourage them, and once again, I try to listen to their needs and talk their language, and tell them that according to the language, how good dancing would be for them. Because I have to give them an aim, and I have to give them a reason. Why is it good for you to dance?
What? So you built this studio with your wife, Anna, for I think the past 5 years. Yeah. And I know that you take great care also in picking the teachers, handpicking the teachers. What do you look for in other teachers?
Their personality. Personality, quality, devotion towards the students, and the special respect towards the students.
And then only last come skills, dance skills. So this is
in a way, yes. Of course, to me, it's very important that a teacher is prepared. They know the stuff very well. They are open to learn from the student, and most of all, they allow the student to grow towards that direction, and not to make a copy of themselves. That is extremely important for me. When I meet a teacher, it's very important for me the dialogue. Sometimes even more than reading their biography, because their biography is in the face, and is in the heart.
What do you do for yourself? You obviously have a very physically demanding job. You teach a lot, teach a lot of the classes here yourself. So you get lots of movement during the day. What else do you do to take care of yourself?
To charge my batteries.
Yeah, to charge, and also to stay healthy on a long-term perspective.
I float. I take twice a week. I have my treatments. I enjoy my family. And what charges me business-wise is very much the feedback of the personality of the students. When I see that a student is happy and walks out of the studio being proud of themselves, that gives me a lot of energy. To be selfish.
In terms of, let's say, training, do you do any additional training
for myself?
Yeah.
I do meditation in the morning, and that's it. I enjoy my family, coffee.
And maybe to put it more general, is how would you generally say dancers go about their physical preparation for their job? Do they do a lot of let's say weight training apart from classes in the studio, or is it more about treatments that you mentioned and more recuperative?
Are you
stuff?
talking about professional dancers?
Yeah.
In Germany, there is not that much competition, therefore I think the standard is a little bit below the standard that in the UK or the US is expected.
In terms of physical preparedness.
And what I would advise them is to work properly and focused during the training. And they, as far as I know, not many of them do extra activities like going to a gym, for example. But the professionals come in and out of the studio because they have contracts elsewhere. Therefore, they come here for the training and then they go to work. Having said that, In Munich, there are several companies, ballet, neoclassical and modern companies, and they have their own trainings. And that is something that I understand very well, because within the training they develop the company and the spirit towards the company and the growth of the company for shows, for choreographies, and towards the choreography itself.
But that's more about specific training, or is that also, let's say, training in the gym, or
No, I would say it's especially classes, dance classes taken together.
So would you generally say that professional dancers get most of their, let's say, athletic workouts in classes? So
right.
There's probably not that much extra need and time to do.
And not as far as I know here.
Yeah. Okay.
In the UK, many people go to the gym as well. In companies, they do have to have the extra training in the gym, also to prevent injuries.
Right.
Also because when a professional dancer does a show several times a week, the body gets used to specific movements, therefore gets unbalanced.
So
and they have to counterbalance everything by their own training.
So it's more about like preventive stuff rather than let's say training with weights or.
That's right.
Yeah.
Also.
Okay.
Also.
Great. Thank you very much for these insights, and I know your studio is open to everybody, so maybe shout out and encouragement, especially to men, to give it a shot. You're in really good hands here. I can tell from experience after being here 3 years, I think now, in hip hop and ballet, and enjoying it a lot. And well, it was my pleasure to talk to you. Thanks.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you for watching, and hope to see you again at the next episode
Ciao.
in a few weeks. Bye bye.